Hi, my name is Jason and this is my blog called Living with CMT. I hope you enjoy. Evening folks, it's Saturday evening, it's 5 to 8. It's been a busy day. We've actually managed to get out today because it's been okay, but I'll tell you more about that later. First of all, I've got two movie reviews. One is for a film called Burnout and one is for a film called Close. Right, movie review. The first film is called Burnout. Now, I found this on Netflix the other night when I told you I was searching through and trying to find foreign films because my hearing isn't so good, so I wanted something with subtitles, and I found this French thriller. And it's a really, really good film. I'd give it 5 out of 10. It's basically about a young man, he's 26, and he's got hopes of becoming a motorbike champion. And everything's going smoothly for him until the mother of his son, who he didn't know this, but the mother of his son was keeping some drugs for a dealer, and they got raided, and all the drugs got stolen. And because all the drugs got stolen, she then ended up owing the drug guy 50 grand. So this bloke, the motorbike rider, being a nice, decent bloke, decides that in order to help her pay it off, he will become a drug runner for them. So he basically uses a motorbike to run drugs between two destinations, and he gets called upon to do this quite a lot, and he agrees to do it for 2 months. Now, in this time, he is also trying to become a motorbike champion, so he's having trials at this one place, plus he's holding down a day job of working in a warehouse. Well, of course, the more he does, the more tired he gets, the more knackered he gets, etc., etc., the worse it gets, and he basically finds himself in way too deep. And what the film is basically about is how he sort of goes from being this dead, normal, average guy to being this guy who basically thinks his world's ending. Anyway, he's friends with another drug dealer who's called Musa in it. The guy's name, by the way, is Tony, but this one he's friends with is called Musa. He's a coloured gentleman, and he's a friend of his who must have been a friend of for a long time, as you can guess from the film. And he is like a rival drug guy. And basically, it's about their friendship and also how he has to rely on him to help him get out of the mess. But it's called Burnout. It's on Netflix, and I'd give it 5 out of 10. So that's my first movie review. Movie review 2 is for another film, only this one isn't foreign. This one's called Close, and it stars Naomi Rapace. I think that's how you pronounce her name. And it's an unusual thriller in the way that it's been done, because normally in these thrillers that I watch, you've got a gentleman, a bloke, whatever, who is the hero, and he's the one who has to protect somebody, blah, blah, blah. Well, this has all been done completely different. This is about a woman, I think she's like a fighter or an army fighter or something or other. She's something anyway. She helps get people out of places. But when she's in the UK, she gets called upon to basically be a babysitter, if you like, a glorified babysitter bodyguard for this heiress who's only young. She's only about, I think she's only about 20 in it or something, this heiress is. But she's one of these, thinks she's the everything. She thinks she's everything. She doesn't like anybody. She's got mum issues and all sorts of stuff. Anyway, her father passes away, and he's the head of this big mining corporation. And she is set to inherit most of the shares from the company. In fact, all the shares from the company. Now, what follows is Naomi Rapace has to take her to this a safe house, but it's in another country. It's a foreign country. And what you see happen is somebody breaks into the safe house using security codes which only certain people know. And you're wondering what's going on in the film, because Naomi Rapace has a chance to leave this girl because she's only supposed to be looking after her for a certain amount of time. But she takes it upon herself to protect this girl, look after her and try and get her out. But at the same time, she also teaches her to look after herself. So it's a good sort of, women standing up for themselves film. There's a lot of action in it. It's a good story. It's a good plot. Naomi Rapace is brilliant in everything I've ever seen her in, even though I've never heard of her until about 2 years ago. She's absolutely fantastic, and I would give this one 6 out of 10. Like I say, it's called Close, and it's on Netflix, so that's another movie review, and that's 6 out of 10. Well, we got up this morning at, I accidentally set the alarm for 9:30 instead of 8:30. That's my mistake. Anyway, we went out to eat about 11:30 and decided to go across to Farm Foods and Lidl and do some food shopping. And we did a nice big shop because we needed a lot of stuff. We really did. We haven't been out for do a proper shop for a long time. So we did that. We came back. We also did a bit of a Tesco shop. And something happened today which really, really upset me. And it didn't involve me, but it involved a really, really good friend of mine. And this friend of mine let me know that he'd had a phone call, these people were pretending to be. He didn't know they were pretending. He didn't know they were pretending. He said they were from the tax office and that he had to sort something out because otherwise the police were going to come round. Now, I know that it's a complete and utter scam and a con, and I've had the phone call myself, and so's my mum. But this friend of mine, who didn't know that this was going on, was dead worried. He was really, really scared, and didn't know what to do. He said to me, "What am I going to do?" And I said to him, I hate to tell you this. I said, but it is an absolute scam. And he was like, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yeah, it's a scam, mate." I said, "Honestly." He said, "Well, why do they do this?" And I thought, well, what a good question. I said, "I'll tell you why they do this. Financial gain. They are hoping that you will either be scared out your brains and go onto your bank or whatever to try and check this out and make a payment to these people to stop the police coming round. They are hoping for this. Now, okay, you might think, oh, come on, nobody's that gullible or nobody would fall for that. But if you've got somebody who's never dealt with anything like that before and they've been, I don't know, law-abiding all their lives and all of a sudden they get this phone call saying that it's the tax office, well, who's going to say it isn't? They're not going to know any different. And I think these people are scum. I really do. I think they're lower than low because they can make people feel really horrible, really horrible. And it really upset my friend, and it got to me really bad today. It really did when I found out about it, and it took me a while to reassure him that it was a scam, just a con. He couldn't come to terms with it. And I said to him, I said, look, I said, at the end of the day, I said, these people prey on people, mate. They are vultures. They're parasites. They're worse than parasites. I wouldn't even step on them if they were on fire. I wouldn't. No, I won't say what I was going to say. I wouldn't if they were on fire. There's no way I would. These are people who I would not want to know in a million years. If I found out any of my friends were doing anything like this to try and con people out of money, they wouldn't be my friend. Years ago, I had a similar situation where I was the one who was doing it inadvertently. I was working at a training organisation. I was only about 19, 18, so I was a little bit gullible, don't get me wrong. And they told me there was a telesales job going. So I went to this telesales job and I thought, it's a bit strange, I can't find any businesses. And it was just like a street of houses. And I knocked on this door and the guy answered the door and he says, follow me. So I followed him and I went past this room where there was this big table, twice the size of that, with phones all around it and people sitting around it with phone books. I thought, it's a strange telesales. And I walked in and he said, right, yes, you can start today. I said, well, what do I do? He said, right, you see that thing there? And I read it out. It was all about people who, you basically had to ring numbers and say to people that they were lucky enough, they'd won a chance to have a holiday home exhibition. Because you couldn't say timeshare because people would put the phone down on you. But if you told them they'd won tickets to a holiday home exhibition, it made it sound really good. Tell them that they get a glass of champagne when they get there, right? So I thought, right, I said, who do I ring? They said, just rip a page out the phone book and ring every number in it. Hang on a minute, it's a bit dodgy, this. I thought, all right, fair enough, I'm on YTS, there's nothing I can do about it. So anyway, I go into the room, I sit down and I get this page that they gave me. It's got all these numbers on, and about the fourth number I rung, I'd had the phone put down on me 3 times, and the fourth number I rung, it was this little old lady's voice. And she asked me, who I was. I said, I'm ringing it from, this place and blah, blah, blah. You've won this, such and such. And I can't believe what she said. She said to me, she says, oh, I'm ever so sorry, Duck. She says, it was always my husband who used to do the shopping. She says, he must have entered the competition in one of these supermarkets. She says, unfortunately, he died last week. Well, that was me done. That was me done. I said, I can't do this. I put the phone down. I went into the guy. I said, I'm sorry, mate. I said, it's not for me. He said, why? I said, I can't do it. I said, I'm not going to ring up and have conning some old lady into believing that she's won something when she hasn't. I said, this is not right. He says, well, I'm sorry. He says, well, we don't want you then. I said, it's all right. I don't want to be here either. And I went back to the place and I actually got a rollicking off the company for not wanting the job. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, no, I'm sorry, but I've got more principles than that. I've got more morals. I wouldn't want somebody doing that back then, obviously. I wouldn't have wanted somebody doing that to my nan. If somebody had done that to my nan, I'd have gone up the wall, man. So, no, I'm sorry, but I don't like people who do stuff like that. My mum rang me about 3 weeks ago and she said, I've had a phone call. I said, who off? She went, Microsoft. I went, oh, gold. She goes, yeah, I said, they've told me I've got a virus on my computer. I said, Mum, it's a con. She says, what do you mean? I said, Microsoft do not ring you and tell you you've got a virus on your computer. I said, do you know how I know? She said, no. I said, because I had one last week. And as soon as I said to him, I work for Microsoft, can I please have the name of your employee number? Went, put the phone down on me. I haven't been back since. Strange, that. Very strange. Now, I know a lot about computers. I've been messing with more computers since anybody, well, quite a lot of people I know. There's only me and Ian Maddock who've been breaking computers longer. And I know exactly when I've got a virus on my computer. I don't need the weatherman telling me when it's throwing it down outside. Do you know what I mean? So I know when I've got a virus. I do virus scans every day on my computer. I constantly back up stuff up and upload stuff and keep stuff safe, you know. So I know that it's a con. But these people who don't know, like my mum got this phone call. She was like, but I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm like, Mum, it's a load of rubbish. She also had one off somebody claiming that it was from BT, saying that she owed money and that she needed to go on and pay her account. I said, Mum, it's a con. BT do not ring you up and tell you owe money. They don't do that. I can't stand people who do it. Like I said, it upset my friend today, and that really upset me because he's a decent bloke. And, you know, he doesn't need this kind of garbage. He's got his own problems without somebody trying to add to them. So, yeah, that's my rant for the day. I was fuming, honestly, absolutely fuming. Anyway, coming up is my next day's poem. So after all that rant and rave, which is about all I've got to talk about today, I'll leave you and I'll do a new poem. Now, this poem's quite apt, actually, because with everything that's going on in our country at the moment, the UK, just in case anybody doesn't know where I'm from, there's a lot of political upheaval and there's a lot of lies going about backwards and forwards, and nobody knows who's telling the truth. So this poem's quite apt, and it's called Aliens. I will not listen to the lies, the political insight and the fake promises. No point in believing all their propaganda. Forgotten once you believe. I won't be swayed one way or the other, because I know they all lie. But I'll put my faith in the aliens. I'll listen when they invade. I'll stand and not judge them, for they must be more human than us. We look in each other's eyes and lie. We turn our back on those that need us. They teach us what we know is right to be wrong. Judge us for our colour. Disown us for the choices we make. Give us freedom of speech as long as we say what they want to hear. Tell us who we can love and why. Who are they to judge? A day without war is like a miracle, and tears are more shed in pain than in laughter. But when the aliens invade us, they wouldn't lie to us just to please us. They might take over us, but we'll know what they want. So forget the politicians that lie, and the media that make us scared. Forget the religions that speak peace only to declare war. Don't let them educate you with false lies. Be deaf to the words, they'll hurt you. Be like me. I have faith in the aliens. Hi, I hope you enjoyed the vlog, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up and a like. Thank you very much. And if you like what you saw, you can subscribe by clicking there. And if you want to see what I did yesterday, you've just got to click up there. Bye for now.